Greetings everyone, my name is Mary Joyce Rat, the narrator of this group. We are happy that all of us gathered here. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who take part of our mock trial, especially to our professor, Ma'am Matos. Today we are presenting our criminal case number 24689, People of the Philippines versus Ivy Rose Kulungan. This is the short storyline. Miss Kulungan and Miss Celis are best friends and they were living in the same apartment. Miss Kulungan is madly in love with Jedi, which is Miss Celis' fiancé. Because of that, Miss Kulungan developed extremely jealousy towards Miss Celis, which made her wanting to kill her by poisoning. You will witness how both parties defend their stand and see what will be the verdict. It is conviction or acquittal. On the first part of our mock trial shows the arraignment and plea of the accused.
This Honorable Court of the Regional Trial Court, Branch 130, with the Honorable Judge Ms. Mara Ampudi. All right. Let's pray. Almighty God, we stand you in our holy presence as our Supreme Judge. We humbly beseech you to bless and inspire us with what we think. Enlighten our minds, strengthen our spirit, and fill our heart with the paternal love, wisdom, and understanding, so that we can become effective channels of truth, justice, and peace. Now proceeding today, guide us in the path of righteousness and for the fulfillment of your greater glory. Amen. The court is now in session. Call the cases. For the arraignment, criminal case number 24689, People of the Philippines versus Kulungan, for the crime of frustrated murder, appearance for the prosecutions and the defense counsel.
Your Honor, I am Attorney Balaba and my Assistant Attorney Florencio, appearing as prosecutor under the direct control and supervision of a public prosecutor.
Is the accused around? Yes, Your Honor. Please approach the bench. Do you have a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Attorney Mag-isa and Attorney Ababa is the appointed lawyer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Arraign the accused. Criminal case number 24689, People of the Philippines versus Kulungan. On the September 17, 2022 at about 6 p.m., Miss Celis, the victim, with her fiancé, Mr. J.D. Almiano, was conducting a party celebration for their engagement in apartment. On the said party, Miss Celis lost consciousness and taken to the hospital. The findings of the doctor said Miss Celis ingested a cyanide-containing substance, a kind of poison. According to Miss Celis, she ingested the grape juice and coffee given by Miss Kulungan during the day, which was said contained the poison. Do you understand the crime against you?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your plea?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
The accused pleaded not guilty, Your Honor.
Let it be on the record that the accused pleaded not guilty for the crime of frustrated murder. The information was read to him in English, a language known and understood by the accused. Also, Attorney Cagisa assisted the accused for his arraignment.
Your Honor, I would like to say the case on October 22, 1919, October 22, 2022.
Are you amenable with the schedule of the trial, defense counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, set the case on October 19, 2022. We only have one case for today.
Yes, Your Honor.
In today's trial, the arraignment of Kulungan in criminal case number 2468 is conducted. The information is read to him in English, a language known and understood by the accused. Defense counsel, Attorney Caguisa and Attorney Ababa assisted the accused. The accused pleaded not guilty for the crime charged against him. No objection for both prosecution and defense. The case is set to trial on October 19, 2022. Notify the parties thereto. So ordered.
Prosecution trial.
Please rise. Almighty God, we stand here in our holy presence as our supreme judge. We have in this picture to bless and inspire us so that what we think, say, and we will be in accordance with your will. Enlighten our minds, prepare our spirits, and fill our hearts with paternal love, wisdom, and understanding, so that we can judge with each other's own purity, justice, and peace. And proceeding today, guide us in the path of righteousness, and from the fulfillment of your greater glory. Amen. The Regional Trial Court, Branch 130 is now in session. The Honorable Judge Ms. Mara will be presented.
Members of the prosecution, your duty today will be to determine whether the defendant is guilty or not guilty based on the facts and evidence provided in this case. The prosecution must prove that the crime was committed and that the defendant was the one who committed the crime. However, if you are not satisfied of the defendant's guilty to that extent, then reasonable doubt exists and the defendant must not found guilty. Ms. Alagao, what is the case today?
Your Honor, today's cases is the criminal case number 24689, People of the Philippines versus Kulungan.
Is the prosecution ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
We will now hear the opening statement from the prosecution.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Attorney Balaga and my assistant Attorney Florencio. In behalf of our states, thank you for being here today. Under the criminal justice system, the citizen charged the crime entitled to hear by the jury of their peers, people just like you. We would like to thank you for being here today and willing to set aside your personal priorities. And as you heard, that the defendant charged the crime for stated murder. On September 17, 2022, about 6 p.m., Miss Celis, the victim, and her fiancé, Miss Judy Almeno, was conducting party and their celebration of engagement in their apartment. On the said party, Miss Celis lost consciousness and taken to the hospital. The findings of the doctor that Miss Celis is ingested cyanide-containing substance as the kind of poison. According to Miss Celis, she ingested the grapefruit juice and coffee given by Miss Kulungan during the day, which the said contained the poison. And while the defense will try to convince that the defendants did not know that the poison contained in the beverage, the state will provide convincing argument that he or she not only knew that the poison but also it was also given to Miss Celis intentionally and with strong motive to kill her. Thank you.
Defense attorney, would you wish to state your case?
Yes, Your Honor. I am Attorney Caguisa and my assistant Attorney Ababa. We would like to thank you for being here today. So let me start with a very simple statement. Under the law of my client, presumed innocent until proven guilty. My clients have the knowledge regarding the beverage that contained the poison. We will show you later on our evidence that Miss Celis was attempting to commit suicide since she has depression from the tragedy she had in the past for having a hard time to get over it. With this, my client is innocent. As a state attorney mentioned, please keep in mind that the burden of proof falls on the state. If that the end of the trial might have any reasonable doubt in the state's case, then you should find my clients not guilty. Thank you.
Call your witness in the witness stand.
May I call Miss Silis?
Do you swear to tell the truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth in this case?
Yes, sir.
The witness is being
Please state your name and other personal circumstances.
I am Great Garden B. Silis, 28 years of age, a certified public accountant of Accounting Division of Nestle Philippines and a resident of Unit 143, Asal Apartment, Padre Paula Street, Ermita, Manila.
Your witness.
The witness is being presented to testify on the fact that accused bring the rat killer and that the substance that poisoned her was from the grapefruit juice which the accused prepared. May we proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Will you please tell me in this honorable court where you are on September 17, 2022 at around 8 o'clock in the morning?
I was in our apartment at Unit 143, Astral Apartment, Padre Paula Street, Ermita, Manila.
Who lives in that apartment?
I and my best friend.
Who was with you in that particular time of that day?
I was alone because I did not report to work to prepare for my engagement party.
How did you prepare for your party?
I decided to clean the house.
And what particular areas of the house did you clean?
I cleaned the living room and the CR first, then I cleaned the dirty kitchen because I remember that our school once said, dumadami na yung budang sa dirty kitchen.
So the last place you cleaned was the dirty kitchen?
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you do in order to solve the problem of the rat?
I used the rat killer, Your Honor.
Who bought that rat killer?
I first bought it because she told me that she noticed that there were rats in the place.
Have you seen actually rats in your place?
No, actually, it's when we wondered, I replied that our first school wondered. Besides, in our last agreements, there was a stipulation that it was the owner's responsibility to conduct pest control.
I'm showing to you this document previously marked as Exhibit A. Please go for this document and tell this honorable court if this is the list that you're referring to.
Yes, this is the last agreement.
Whose signature is this above?
My,
And the name which appearing on page 2 on contract list.
my signature.
And what signature belongs to whom? Pointed.
Our lesser Mr. Matas.
Which purpose of identification, Your Honor? I would like to request the marking of signature appearing above the printed name of Miss Silis as Exhibit A1.
Mark it.
And the signature appearing above the printed name of Miss Tagas as the lesser be marked as Exhibit A2.
Mark it.
We'd also like to request the marking of stipulation number 8 in this list agreement as Exhibit A3.
Mark it.
Was there consistent compliance by the owner? What happened next?
After cleaning, I rest because I got tired. I remember that before our school left for work, she told me that don't forget to drink the beetroot juice that she prepared.
Where did you find that grapefruit?
Inside her.
If the picture containing of the grapefruit, can you recognize it? Is this it?
Yes, that's the one.
When did you drink that said beverage?
Before I went to Starbucks,
How many glasses were you able to drink?
I drink about 2 glasses.
Can you estimate the amount of the juice you drink?
The glasses would contain 300 to 350 ml of liquid, so that would make 600 to 700 ml.
What else did you do on that day?
I went out to meet Ivor's tulungan for our usual coffee break in Starbucks at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We spent the whole afternoon together until we decided to go home for the morning.
Did you feel anything at that time?
While
Objection, Your Honor. Question is leading.
Sustained.
What happened at Starbucks?
While we are eating, I complained to others that my name is
Did your friend say anything?
She just told me that I'm Christian.
What time did you leave at the Starbucks?
5 o'clock.
What time did you arrive in your apartment?
We arrived at about 5:30 o'clock in the late afternoon. The dinner party was set at 6 o'clock.
What happened later?
The guests arrived. We entered.
Was your fiancé with them? What happened next?
I approached Abby and trusted her.
What did you feel at the time?
My headache worse. I began to feel nauseous, and I committed. I felt so weak when I looked my body.
Did anyone come to help?
Yes, Abby called me before I hit the floor.
Did you notice anything else?
Before I totally lost consciousness, I saw Abby that she is smiling when she told me.
So if the accused is inside in this courtroom, would you able to recognize him?
Yes, sir.
That's all, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Cross-examination of Miss Silis by Attorney Caguisa.
Miss Witness, you testify that in the list of contract, the listener had responsibility to conduct the pest control measures. How often the pest control conducted?
Quarterly, Your Honor.
And during what months did the listener conduct pest control measures?
February, May, August, and November of every year.
Miss Witness, you testified that in the cleaning the dirty kitchen, you used the rat poison to kill the rats there. Is that right?
Yes.
How did you use the rat poison?
I took half the box, then I put some on my hands. I put the rat poison in some rice, then I put the rice in the floor.
You did not use gloves to protect your hands or your skin? Miss Witness, did you know that the rat poison could also poison human accidentally swallowed?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, even if you knew that, you still did not use any protection for your hands?
Yes, because I plan to wash my hands after cleaning the dirty kitchen, Your Honor.
After cleaning the dirty kitchen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Not right after you put the poison into the rice, as you have said earlier.
Yes, Your Honor.
You testified that you drank the grapefruit juice. What was the color of the juice?
Yellow.
When you drank the juice, what was it taste?
It was sour, a bit bitter, Your Honor.
Bitter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi ka ba nagtataka at mapait yung juice na ininom mo?
Objection, Your Honor. My witness is can understand in language of Tagalog.
Let the question be translated for the witness.
Did you not wonder why the juice is bitter?
No, no, Your Honor. The grapefruit juice really has a slight bitter taste. Perhaps it was so sour.
You testified that the accused left the house. She told you not to forget to drink the juice. Has she done this even before the incident happened?
Yes, Your Honor. Both of us used to do. We often leave foods and drinks for them.
So, when she told you not to forget the juice, it was nothing new because both of you had that habit.
Yes, Your Honor.
You testified that at 3 p.m. on September 17, 2022, you met the accused at the coffee shop. When you were the accused, did you notice anything different about her?
Yes, Your Honor.
What was that?
When I complained about my headache, she just told me that I'm just tired.
Were you not really tired after cleaning the entire house?
Yes, a quite tired, Your Honor.
You also said that at the party you felt nauseous and then you vomited and fell to the ground. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you were already at the floor, were you still conscious?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was your sight still clear?
A bit blurry, Your Honor.
So you cannot see clearly at the time you fell to the ground?
Yes, because I was so busy.
So you cannot possibly say that Miss Ivor's Kulungan was really smiling when she heard you?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Miss Witness, have you ever visited a psychiatrist?
Yes, Your Honor.
When was this?
Around August 2021.
Why did you go to such a psychiatrist?
I need treatment for my depression, Your Honor.
Who was the doctor who treated you?
Dr. Aguado.
Where is his clinic located?
At Medical Center.
What did Dr. Aguado do to treat you?
I went through psychological counseling session, Your Honor.
Were these counseling sessions reduced into writing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this document that the doctor treated you went through under Dr. Aguado?
Yes, Your Honor.
For the record, the complainant has identified Exhibit 1, which was previously marked as a summary discharge at the Medical Center, Manila. Who prepared this medical report?
It was Dr. Aguado.
Miss Witness, did anything happen before you visited your psychiatrist?
I committed suicide.
Did your psychiatrist prescribe any medications?
He gave me antidepressant pills.
Are you still taking those medication?
Not anymore, Your Honor.
Redirect examination.
No, Your Honor, we'll continue our next witness.
Miss Witness, you may step down. Call your next witness.
Direct examination of Mr. Jetty by Prosecutor Balaba.
I'm calling Mr. J.D. again.
Do you swear to tell the truth, all the truth and nothing but the truth in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name and other circumstances.
I'm Gigi Adriano, 30 years of age, single, and head security officer of Security Service of the State Philippines, and a resident of 299 Aguado Street, San Miguel, Quiapo, Manila.
Your witness.
This witness, Your Honor, Mr. J.D. Almano, was presented to testify that the fact of the accused secretly fell in love and could possibly be obsessed with him, and may likewise began to hate the complainant secretly. May we proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Question. Do you know the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you related to her?
She is my fiancée.
Do you know the accused?
Yes, Your Honor.
How is she related to her?
She is a childhood friend of my fiancée and roommate in her apartment.
Did you aware that the accused likes you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is speculating.
State.
Do you visit the complainant in their apartment?
Yes, Your Honor.
How often do you visit the complainant?
During weekends.
Whenever you visit the complainant in their apartment, are there any persons around?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Silis was there.
When you visit the complainant during weekend, was the complainant always there?
Not always, Your Honor.
What do you mean that they said that the complainant was not always there?
She's not there because she went out.
Whenever that happens, will you find at their apartment?
Miss Ivy Kulungan, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, what do you do whatever you visit the complainant at their apartment and she is not around?
I wait her, Your Honor.
Where and what particular part of the apartment do you wait?
At the living room, Your Honor.
And while waiting, what normally transpire?
I watch TV and listen to music.
You said earlier that whatever the complainant is not around during your visit, Iberus was at the apartment, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So there was a time that you and the accused were in the apartment.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what transpired you and the accused when you are alone in that apartment?
The accused flirts with me, Your Honor.
So what do you mean that you said that she was flirting with you?
She wears revealing clothes.
So do you recall how many times that have happened?
Many times, Your Honor.
What do you tell that the accused every time she flirts with you?
I don't mind her joke.
So, does your fiancés know these instances?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
Because I already told her.
What did your fiancé say?
She said, don't mind her, she's joking.
Mr. Witness, please examine this text message and tell the court if you recognize it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why do you recognize it?
Because I received the text messages from the accused on August 15, 2020.
This text message purports that been sent to the person owning that mobile number 967 Do you recognize it, the person who owns this number?
Yes, that is the mobile number of the accused, Your Honor.
How do you know?
Because the mobile number of the accused is stored in my mobile phone, Your Honor.
Will you please read aloud the contents of this text message?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, can you read the text message?
Jim, kung hindi ka magiging active, wala magkikinabang sa'yo.
Mr. Witness, can you read the text message?
Akin ka lang mamamatay ang kahit sinong araw sa'yo.
Your Honor, the record of this text message appearing the screen of the mobile number of Mr. Almeida previously as marked as Exhibit C has been identified by the witness. So, the document printed copy and text message contained to the mobile number of Mr. Almiano would like to request that is marked as Exhibit C1.
Market.
How often did she send to you this kind of text message?
Always, every day, Your Honor.
What you were doing in the engagement party?
I was entertaining our friends.
Were you near the victim?
So, I was about 8 meters away from her.
Who was with the victim when the incident happened?
She was with the accused.
What did you do when you learned of that incident?
I rushed to her. She was already lying on the ground.
What did you do afterwards?
I called for the ambulance. We rushed for her to the hospital.
How long did you stay in the hospital?
About 4 hours.
When the doctor came out, what did he tell to you?
The doctor said, my fiancé was in poison.
No further question, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Cross-examination of Shady Almiano by Attorney Ababa.
Mr. Witness, you have testified that whenever you and Ms. Kulungan are alone in the apartment and she tried to flirt you, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you say that?
Well, I feel she made some advances.
How long have you known Ms. Kulungan?
I have known her ever since I began courting my fiancé, since both of them live in the same apartment.
Would you like to consider Ms. Kulungan as your friend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, it is possible that the reason why Ms. Kulungan treated you well with extra sweetness is because she considered you as a close friend since you are a fiancé of her best friend.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also testified that Ms. Kulungan sent you a threatening text message that what is your proof that it was ended my client who sent you those messages? Would you consider Ms. Kulungan as your friend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, it is possible that the reason why Ms. Kulungan treats you well as with extra sweetness is because she considered you as a close friend since you are the fiancé of her best friend.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also testified that Ms. Kulungan sent you a threatening text message. What is your proof that was ended my client to send you those messages?
I'm sure, Your Honor, because I am familiar with the way she constructs her messages.
Mr. Witness, does the complainant use your mobile phone in sending text messages to her friends?
Yes, sometimes.
How about you? Are you there times when you borrow your complainant's circular phone?
Yes, there are times I use her phone.
So it is possible that Ms. Kulungan's phone has also been borrowed by someone else and it was not her who sent you those text messages.
Yes, it's possible. But Your Honor, I'm really sure she was the one who sent me those messages.
No further question yet, Your Honor.
Further examination.
Direct examination of Dr. Baldapan by Prosecutor Hyacinth Balaba.
What's up? Di ba ikaw?
No further question, Your Honor.
Further examination.
No, Your Honor. We will continue for our next witness.
Mr. Witness, you may step down from the witness stand. Call your next witness.
Direct examination of Dr. Bantapan by Prosecutor Hyacinth Balaba.
I'm calling Dr. Bandapan.
Do you swear to tell the truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth in this case?
Please state your name and other personal circumstances.
My name is Dr. Bandapan and I am doctor of the Manila Medical Group. And I believe that
Your witness.
This witness, Your Honor, Dr. Bandapan was testified that the findings of medical legal report prepared by him that the proof that the following: the effective cause of the complainant condition is chemical poisoning, that the dose taken by the complainant is necessary fatal, that the possible source of the cyanide poison is grapefruit juice prepared by the accused. May we proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Dr. Balapan, you declare that you are a doctor of medicine. Dr. Balapan, where did you finish your medical degree?
in Rio Pinaldo College, United Nations.
When did you graduate?
1994.
Are you a licensed physician?
Yes.
When did you pass the doctoral board examinations?
In 1995.
Where are you presently connected?
University connected with Jimmy de la Hospital.
Since when you have employed in that hospital,
I've been employed since 1999.
what is your present designation?
I'm presently in institution self-institution.
Since you have become a licensed physician, have you attended seminars and undertaken training in connection with the practice of medicine? When and where?
Yes, I have attended several training seminars on emergency meeting health in abroad. In fact, I've also been invited guest speaker to the huge special lectures in the modern medical psychology and medical legal aspect of person. To name few, one of the international medical conference attended was in Switzerland. Last September 2017, presenting and block and Dr. Alamo, who was an internationally recognized expert in international medicine. Another was the one held just last January in Florida, USA, titled Emergency Medicine Practice and Evidence.
Have you testified as medical expert in cases before court of justice?
Yes, mostly on medical legal cases.
How many medical legal cases so far will you testify? What kind of that medical legal cases have you testified?
So for the past 5 years, around 200 cases, mostly homicide and murder cases, involving food and chemical poisoning, medical malpracture cases, and industrial and fatal accidents.
Do you recall having attended on one series at the Philippine General Hospital?
Yes.
Do you recall when was the doctor? What time?
It's about 6:30 in the evening of September 17, 18.
Do you recall how many days when she confined that hospital?
She was confined for 1 week.
Why that she confined that long?
She made sure that the neuropathic and cardiovascular status is normalized and disease and other metabolic abnormalities have restored before the discharge of the
While in hospital, did you continue attending her?
Yes.
After her discharge, where did you require her to still see you for the medications?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
I advise the patient to have follow-up within 7-10 days, either discharge, evaluate and monitor for reset delayed neurologic manifestation.
Did the patient see you for a follow-up, doctor?
Yes.
Did you find any neurological complication in the said follow-up?
None.
So, doctor, we are assured that the patient completed heroin is in healthy state of mind.
Yes, Your Honor.
Attach the record of the case medical legal report issued by Dr. Bandapan is one of the referring to Exhibit D.
Yes. Yes.
So for the record, this witness has identified that document is previously marked as Exhibit D as the medical legal report issued by Dr. Bandapan. So, question. There are signature above the contemplated Dr. Mustafa. Do you know that who signature above in this doctor?
Yes, this must be.
So I respectfully request Your Honor that the signature appearing in this Exhibit D be marked as Exhibit D1.
Mark it.
Doctor, please read this particular entry witness reading the portion of the recorded report.
The patient came in an emergency room, stretcher born, unconscious and respiratory distress. Provide signs that were blood pressure 80 over 50, cardiac rate of 50 beats per minute, respiratory rate
of 12 cycles per minute. The temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. Patient's skin was flushed.
Could you please explain findings in more simple terms for ordinary person to understand?
So the patient was clearly in stable condition.
Do you know what
Or-
could have? Yeah, continue.
Or in a very critical condition, warranting immediate medical intervention, constant monitoring for any signs of deterioration or further evaluation.
So, do you know that what could have caused this kind of condition?
My diagnosis at the time was working out.
Why that condition of miscellaneous attributed that the person under rather than the disease or some natural cause? Were the test conducted confirming that existence of poison?
We did toxin screening with the patient's blood. It revealed that the presence amount of cyanide in the blood, and since cyanide is not normally found in the blood, considering the combination.
So you are saying that the actual effective cause of condition of patient is
Chemical poison which is harmful to the body and will lead to death.
did the symptoms were the apparent resemble of the typical symptoms of poisoning by the alleged poison?
Yes, the symptoms of cyanide poisoning are headache, nausea, vomiting, generalized body weakness, loss of consciousness, flushed skin, and unstable vital signs, all of which were present in this case.
Doctor, what could be the possible source of cyanide in this case?
So, based on the story given to me by the informant, when the patient was brought in the ER, possible sources of cyanide could be any of the food or beverages patients ingested on that day of the incident.
History? What do you mean that by that?
We fill out a form called history of physical examination. Contained here are the general data, reasons for the consult of the chief of the history of the present illness, and the past medical history relevant. Here is the history of the present illness. This refers to the events, activities of the patient, which transpired prior to the consultation from the onset of the symptoms to the time of the
Now, you mentioned about the informant. Who was the informant of the patient in this case? Doctor? What is Miss Kulunga?
Objection, Your Honor. The question is leading.
Sustained.
Who was the informant of this patient in this case?
So it was Miss Ivy Rose.
Would you like to please tell the court that what is the exactly that Miss Kulunga told you?
So the informant told me that during the coffee break, the day that the incident, the food we take to break, the patient consisted a tuna sandwich, fresh green salad, green tea, cappuccino, and during the party she drank Coke Zero.
Now, my question is to you. It is possible, doctor, that a grapefruit juice can be the source of cyanide poison?
Objection, Your Honor. The question is leading.
Sustained.
Actually, during the confinement of the patient in hospital, for 1 week, said patient mentioned to me that she also drank a grapefruit juice. It is possible that the grapefruit juice could be the source of cyanide, considering that she ingested the same 3 hours before the onset of symptoms.
What is the minimum lethal dose of cyanide?
Lethal dose is the smallest dose known to cause of death. Not the smallest amount, which will certainly cause death. Several scientific studies have shown that toxic drug dose is 50 to 100 milligrams of cyanide in the human body.
In your opinion, what dose taken by the victim is fatal?
So, analysis of the patient's body will tell us amount of the level of cyanide in the body. The patient's blood was found to have a 1.5 milligram cyanide content based on the form defined in the finding. I can extrapolate that the amount ingested by the patient is lethal or lethal.
Is that all, doctor?
As previously stated, the symptoms of the patient would eventually lead to cardiopulmonary arrest or death. We know from the patient would have died.
What are you trying to tell us, doctor?
The severity of the symptoms may serve as an indication of how lethal the dose cyanide is, or that is the effect of poisonous in the body, usually proportional to the dose taken. The bigger the dose, the more severe the symptoms will be.
Doctor, do you have any other field of expertise?
Yes, I'm also expert in chemist and toxicologist. I specialize in forensic medicine and toxic, especially poisoning and drug abuse.
I will show you a document Previously marked Exhibit E, this is the toxicology report from NBI as a result of their clinical analysis of the sample taken from the grapefruit juice in a pitcher and the sample taken from the rodenticide at a rat iris found in the apartment of complainant and the accused. As an expert, can you please interpret to us the findings of this report?
So this report reveals that the sample taken from the grapefruit juice has been contaminated with rodenticide. It is also shown that rodenticide has 50% acidity concentration. It is also illustrated that the grapefruit juice hence contaminated by this.
Doctor, have you formed an opinion?
It seems that rodenticide has been intentionally mixed with grapefruit juice.
No more question, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Cross-examination of Dr. Baldapan by Attorney Ababa.
Doctor, you have testified that you also specialize in toxicology, especially poisoning and drug overdose, since you are an expert in that field, right? Doctor, when you ingest the cyanide poison cause of the onset of symptoms of cyanide poisoning,
So patient who ingested potentially fatal amounts may not develop threatening symptomatology for up to 1 to 2 hours following exposure.
symptoms such as
In patients who do not experience sudden collapse, the initial signs and symptoms can be resemble those anxiety and hypertension. Early signs include headaches. Late signs worsening are nausea, vomiting, loss of consciousness, and variable.
the patient complainant also testified that she drank 2 glasses of the allied source, the poisons, the grapefruit juice, at around 2:45 p.m. and the onset of symptoms of cyanide poisoning was about 6 p.m. Those 3 hours had lapsed from the ingestion sauce before the symptoms developed, right?
Yes.
But you also said that symptoms of cyanide poisoning are expected to develop 1 to 2 hours following ingestion. If that's the case, don't you think that there is an inconsistency of the duration of ingestion of onset symptoms between the patient's actual case and the established scientific findings of cyanide poisoning? With this does not mean that the condition of the patients cannot be attributed to the cyanide poisoning, but also some other cause. Are you sure?
Yes. I can say that it is possible that the patient's condition was not due to cyanide.
Doctor, about the source of the poison, you only said possible sources, right?
Yes.
By possible, you mean
Probable potential source of poison.
that the grapefruit juice is the one possible source of the cyanide poison,
Yes.
and that there are other possible sources of cyanide as well.
Yes.
So, it was a safe conclude, doctor, that the cyanide poison may have came from another source, considering that for that day, the patient food intake compromised different food and beverages.
Yes, that is possible.
Are you aware the history of the said patient that she had one time in the past attempted to end her life due to depression?
Yes.
That she has a history of suicidal attempt 1 year from the date of the incident.
Yes.
In your opinion, let's say the fact that relevant to the determination of the cause of the symptoms.
Yes, history of the previous suicidal offense, history of the patient's mental condition, and history of business, marital, and social failures are taken into consideration in cases of poisoning.
It is safe to conclude that then that it's possible that the poisoning is attributed to suicide.
Yes, Your Honor.
No further question, Your Honor.
Further examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Direct examination of Dr. Baldapan by Prosecutor Balaba.
Doctor, it is possible that the onset symptoms of cyanide poison varies for each person. It is possible that the same symptoms may appear beyond the normal 1 to 2 hours duration.
That is possible.
Will you please explain to us how it is possible?
So some persons possesses different level of sensitivity to certain substances. The body may acquire tolerance to some substances. Another would be the body would naturally defend against cyanide exposure in the form of an endogenous enzyme, namely luminescence. This enzyme catalyze cyanide in mixing with sulfur, forming the much less toxic ion thiocyanide. The availability of sulfur constitutes the remaining limiting factor in the natural cyanide detoxification. In the absence of exogenous source of sulfur, rhodesine's activity is too slow to prevent serious toxic.
Can you explain to the court what do you mean by that, doctor?
Even though the normal duration is 1 to 2 hours, there are some cases in which the sign and symptoms of cyanide poisoning in a patient may be delayed and appear beyond the normal duration. In the case of the patient Miss C is 1 hour delayed appearance in symptoms because, as confirmed in her lab test, her body produces normal amounts of sulfur, and as I mentioned earlier, when there is more sulfur in the body, the cyanide detoxification in the body is hastened. Thus, the serious toxic effects of the cyanide will be diminished. Lastly, the food intake of the patient may possibly contribute to such effect.
No further question, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
No cross, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, you may step down from the witness stand.
Your Honor, we are now listing the case for the prosecution.
How do you intend to submit your formal offer?
We cannot offer the evidence, Your Honor.
Proceed.
So, Exhibit E as the contract unless being offered to prove that there was a stipulation of quarterly conduct of this control measure by the lesser. Exhibit E1 and E2 is the signature of Ms. Celis and Cagas as legal to prove that these two persons was conducting parties to this agreement. Exhibit E3 is a stipulation of regarding the pest control measure to the prove that the leisure undertakes to conduct quarterly pest control measure. Exhibit B is a picture from which state simple and taking the subjective chemical analysis and the purpose of proving that the fact source poisoning was a grapefruit juice prepared by the accused contained in the picture. Exhibit C consists of text message to prove that the accused daughter failing to the complainant's boyfriend. Exhibit C1 consists of printed copy of the text message of corroborate of fact that the accused had been sending several text messages to the complainant's boyfriend to manifest of his origin. Exhibit D is the medical legal report issued by Dr. Barlapan to the proof that the following that the effective cause of the complainant condition of chemical poisoning that the dose taken, complainant necessary fetal, and that the possible source of cyanide poison of grapefruit juice prepared by the accused. Exhibit D1 is the signature of Dr. Barlapan to be part of the testimonial since he was attending to the position in the complainant. Exhibit E is the examination of report, National Bureau of Investigation to prove that the chemical analysis is the simple taken from the picture qualitatively and quantitatively determination of the poison. Exhibit F is the box of the rat killer to prove that the source of the poison which was bought by the accused.
Any comment?
Yes, Your Honor. As to Exhibit A, A1, A2, and A3, we admit that existence and authenticity, Your Honor. As Exhibit B, we admit its existence but not its purpose. As to Exhibit C and C1, we only admit that as the existence of the text we suggest but not its authenticity. As to Exhibit D and D1, we admit that existence and authenticity, Your Honor. As to Exhibit E, we admit its authenticity and genuineness. As to Exhibit F, we admit its existence but not its purpose.
Acting on the formal offer of exhibit of the prosecutor and comments thereon the defense counsel, the court is so to the defense counsel specified in the offer.
Direct examination of Attorney Pag-isa for the defense. We are ready to present our first witness, Your Honor.
For the defense, we are ready to represent our witness, Your Honor.
Call your witness.
Direct examination of Attorney Pag-isa for the defense. We are ready to present our first witness, Your Honor.
For the defense, we are ready to represent our witness, Your Honor.
Call your witness.
Guado.
Do you swear to tell the truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth in this case?
Please state your name and other personal circumstances.
I am Dr. Aguado, 35 years old, single, a licensed psychiatry department, Medical Center Manila, and a resident of 123 Cruzada Street, Quiapo.
Your witness.
Your Honor, the witness is presented to testify on the medical records of employment who underwent severe counseling sessions under her supervision to prove the mental and emotional stability of the complainant. May we proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
When were you admitted to practice of medicine?
In 1995,
From what university or college did you graduate and when?
I graduated from the University of San Tomas in the year 1990.
Did you graduate with honors?
Yes, Latin honors.
Do you have any postgraduate degree?
Yes, Your Honor. I finished my Master of Psychiatry degree at the University of Northport in 1990.
Since when you have been practicing as psychiatrist?
For almost 10 years.
What is the nature of your work as a psychiatrist?
As a psychiatrist, I deal with the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of mental and emotional illness and behavioral disorders of patients.
And how do you treat your patients?
I listen and talk to patients about their mental, emotional, or behavioral problems and assess the status of these disorders. I also prescribe medications, cognitive therapy, behavioral therapy, and psychological counseling depending on the patient's needs.
Do you know the complainants in this case?
Yes, sir.
Why do you know her?
She was my patient at the psychiatry department of Medical Center.
When was this?
August 16, 2021.
For what reason did she come to your clinic?
She consulted me about her condition.
Was the consultation out of her volition?
No, she was advised by her friend.
Doctor, what procedures or tests did you conduct on the complainant during the consultation?
I conducted physical examination. I asked her to tell something about her work, her family, and other personal relationships. I just listened to whatever she said. While she was talking, I observed her demeanor, the way she spoke, and her gestures.
What did you notice about the complainant while she was talking to you?
At first, the patient was apparently normal, but when she began talking about her family, particularly her parents, she began to sob, and then she cried. Her hands were trembling. She blamed herself for the death of her parents.
What matters were said to you by the complainants in the course of the consultation?
The physical examination revealed sleeping, apnea, insomnia, hypertension, and migraine.
As to her emotional condition?
The patient is suffering from major depression, without psychotic features.
Did you talk to anyone else regarding the patient's emotional condition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who else did you talk about her emotional condition?
I spoke to her friend, the one who advised the patient to seek help. This was part of the analysis of the patient's condition.
Any other tests that you conducted on the patient?
No more.
Doctor, from the examinations and observations, what did you conclude about the complainant's condition?
The patient suffered from single episode depression.
Will you explain to this court what that condition is?
A single episode depression, or SED, is a type of major depression that occurs once as a result of a single psychological trauma. In the case of the patient, based on our conversations, the only traumatic event which caused the depression was a terrible accident and death of her parents.
What made you conclude that the patient was suffering from this condition?
The symptoms of SED, which include insomnia, loss of appetite, which may or may not lead to weight loss, mood swings, and hypnotic spells match with the results of the patient's physical examination.
How did you treat the patient?
The patient was admitted to the hospital as inpatient.
How long did you stay at the hospital?
1 month.
And what methods or procedures did you use to treat the patient?
I conducted supportive counseling.
Will you tell this honorable court what supportive counseling means?
Supportive counseling helps ease the pain of depression and addresses the feeling of hopelessness that accompanies the depression. In the case of the patient, I talked to her about what happened to her during the past week. As the patient mentioned a negative event, I asked her what she felt, why she felt that way, and how she should have viewed the negative situation.
And the counseling sessions were on what intervals?
Once a week.
Did you prescribe any medication to the patient?
Yes, I prescribed antidepressant pills.
The medical findings that you had on the complainant, were this reduced into writing?
Yes, sir. I have made a psychiatric assessment of the medical findings.
Did you personally prepare the said writing?
Yes, sir.
Does this document have any relation to the report that you have been prepared?
That is the report I have prepared, Your Honor.
For the record, the witness has identified this document previously marked as Exhibit 2 as a psychiatric assessment report of Ms. Sims. In the last page of this document, there were appears in a signature. Whose signature is this? This witness? Mr. Witness?
That is my signature.
I respectfully request, Your Honor, that the signature appearing in this document be marked as Exhibit 2A. Doctor, who ordered the discharge of the complainant?
I ordered the discharge, Your Honor, upon request of the complainant.
Were there any conditions upon the discharge of this complainant?
In my discharge summary, I stated that although the patient is being discharged, she is currently treated as an outpatient.
Did the patient comply with with the condition?
No, Your Honor. She did not return to the hospital after the discharge.
Doctor, when the complainant was discharged, what was her condition?
There was an improvement in her condition in general, although she is not completely stable yet.
What do you mean she's not completely stable yet?
Well, she manifested improvement in the case of possibility of relapse.
Do you mean to say that, doctor, that is the patient condition may be cured?
If unguarded,
Unguarded?
if the patient does not follow the treatment plan, the possibility of relapse is high.
Do you mean to say, doctor, that in the case of the complainant, there is a possibility for relapse considering she did not return to your further treatment?
Yes, sir.
And should be there relapse, what would another suicide be also possible?
That is possible, Your Honor.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Cross-examination of Dr. Aguado by Prosecutor Florencio.
So, you testify that you treated the complainant for a single episode of depression. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
When you discharged the complainant, what her condition? What was her condition?
She was emotionally sad.
When you- What makes you conclude that the patient was emotionally stable?
During our last counseling session, there were no longer signs of the SAD. She no longer showed signs of mood swings. She no longer cried when I asked her about the death of her parents. She said she could not blame herself anymore.
You also testified that your relationship with the complainant lasted for 1 month. Will you tell this honorable court why it lasted only for such period?
The patient responded well during our counseling session. The antidepressant pills which they have prescribed also worked positively on her.
The antidepressant pills that you prescribed, do they have any effect?
I asked the patient what she felt after taking the medication. She said she felt drowsy, which is a normal side effect of antidepressants.
Are there any other side effects?
Other antidepressants make a patient restless and anxious, but the effects really vary from one person to another. In the case of the complainant, the only effect was drowsiness.
You testified that a relapse is possible if the patient does not continue treatment after discharge. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
How high are the chance of a relapse?
It depends, Your Honor.
It depends on what?
If the patient is under several medications and they are not followed, a relapse is highly possible. And if the patient does not submit to further counseling session when required, a relapse is also possible.
Was the complainant under medication when she was charged?
Yes, but only for antidepressant, Your Honor.
So in your opinion, is the possibility of relapse high or low?
I cannot tell, Your Honor.
Would what also mean that in the case of complainant, such relapse may not happen?
Probably, Your Honor.
No further question, Your Honor.
Redirect.
No, Your Honor. We will call our last witness.
Mr. Witness, you may step down from the witness stand. Call your last witness.
Direct examination of Francella by Attorney Abaga.
May I call on our next witness, Ms. Venezuela.
The court will tell the truth, all the truth and nothing but the truth of this case.
Please state your name and other personal circumstances.
I am Princess Diane, 32 years old, married, and office mate of a complainant and resident of 345 Paco, Manila.
The witness is being presented to testify the character and suicidal tendency of the complainant. May we proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Do you know the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why do you know her?
I work with her at the accounting department of Miss Philippines.
How long have you been office mate?
About 2 years.
How would you describe her as a office mate?
She is a quiet person and a loner.
In 2 years that you know the complainant, was there any untoward incident which involved her?
One, sir.
Was there any time that you noticed something different about the complainant?
Yes.
What was that?
I saw her one time at the comfort room. She was crying while staring at the mirror.
What did you do when you saw her crying?
I asked her if something wrong happened.
What consider answer?
She said, I want to die.
What did you tell her after she said those words?
I asked her again of what happened.
And what was your answer?
She did not say anything.
What was,
She just stared at me.
what was your reaction?
Oh, come on. Can we... Yeah. I said, come on, you can tell me what's the problem.
Did this kind of incident happen again?
Yes, 2 days after, the same incident happened at the hospital.
What did you do during the second incident?
None. I did not ask her anymore because I know she wouldn't tell me anyway.
Do you remember what transpired afterwards?
After about 3 days, I learned that the complainant's attempts to commit suicide.
Miss Witness, on June 22, 2021, did you receive an email from the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who was the sender of that email?
It was Dennis, Your Honor.
How do you know?
Because she used her signature.
Miss Witness, please examine this writing and please tell the court if you recognize it.
This is the email sent by the complainant, Your Honor.
For the record, the witness has identified this document previously marked as Exhibit E as a printed copy of the email sent by the complainant. Can you tell the court what was the email's content?
It says, Dear President Rosella, my parents didn't deserve to die that way. I am so stupid. I should have died with them. I want to die now.
How sure are you that is the same email which you received from the complainant?
Because her signature appears at the bottom of the email, Your Honor.
The signature appearing here is the signature of the complainant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, is respectfully requested that the signature appearing in Exhibit 3 is remarked as Exhibit 3A. No further question.
Cross-examination.
Direct examination of Ivory Kuluman by Attorney Kagisa for the defense. You are ready to present the accused, Your Honor.
Miss Witness, you may step down from the witness stand. Call your next witness.
For the defense, we are ready to present the accused, Your Honor.
Proceed.
You swear to tell the truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth.
Please state your name and other personal circumstances.
Your Honor, the testimony of the witness is being offered to controvert the material allegations of the information against Ms. Ivory Kuluman, and to testify that due to the complainant's mental and emotional state, her perspective of the situation cannot be relied upon. May we proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Miss Witness, are you the same Kulungan who is accused in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know about her personality?
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you related to her?
She's a father.
Miss Kulungan, please tell me to this court, Honorable Court, where you are on September 17, 2022, around 6 p.m.
I was engaged party.
Can you recall what happened during that engagement party?
I was chatting with Silis, the rabbit.
were you drinking that time?
I was drinking
Then what happened?
about so played and sweetie. She lost her consciousness. Her called Didi called for ambulance and brought him to the hospital.
How did you stay at the hospital?
I stayed for overnight.
Before the incident happened, where were you?
I was at the Starbucks in Cities.
At around what time was that?
Around 2 p.m. in this month.
Did Miss Celis go to work that day? Would you know why?
He told me to take a leave because he did the engagement party.
Did you go to work at that day?
Yes, Your Honor.
What time did you leave the house?
6:30 a.m.
So could you positively say that you have an idea about what transpired on that day, September 17, 2022, before the incident at the engagement party happened?
Objection, Your Honor. The question is leading.
State.
When you left the house, what was Celis doing?
He was still sleeping, Your Honor.
Miss Witness, were you aware that the complainant suffered from a major depression?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you know the reason why she suffered from that depression?
Because she could not accept the death of her parents, she blamed herself for their death.
When did her parents die?
Around May of 2021.
After the death of the complainant's parents, what happened to the complainant?
She began insomnia. There were nights she could not sleep. She was drunk and began lost weight. There were mostly there were times she was crying. Sometimes just keep quiet and not talk.
Did the complainant remain that way?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did she attempt to commit suicide?
I think around 2 months before she attempted to end her life.
Did you advise her to seek medical help?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you do anything to help her?
I was always talking to her, asking her how she feels, and telling her to be rest, and also told her not to stop drunk.
After she sought help the psychiatrist, what happened?
She is recovered from the depression, she's sleeping well, and she's no longer drinking.
No more signs of the depression were present?
Sometimes suddenly keep quiet, and there are times I saw her lying silently.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. The direct
Cross-examination of Article that is differential.
In the direct examination, you told this honorable court that you work as a food toxicologist. How long have you been practicing the profession?
7 years.
What is your specialization?
Specialized in medical analysis and nutrition and city of food.
So you have a knowledge of different kinds of chemicals and food substances. Are you familiar with rodenticide?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it poisonous?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think it can kill a person?
Depending on the amount, Your Honor.
Do you use rodenticide?
Yes, yes.
Do you have rodenticide at home?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you recognize the box of rat killer previously marked as Exhibit F?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was this the package which contained the rat killer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were the one who bought this?
Because this was significance of the apartment and many rats.
Miss Witness, were you aware of the provision in the Lease contract which said that it is responsibility to the resort to conduct quarterly pest control measures?
Yes, Your Honor. I was surprised.
this both are in deciphered, but in fact are less agreement.
That's not true. You are the one who wrote that.
Provides that we should report any bookness, love the lesser.
How long have you been staying with the complainant in the same apartment?
What 8 years now, Your Honor?
Do you have any companion in the apartment where you are with Miss Celis stay? Does this mean that either only you and Miss Celis prepare the food and drink that may be found in the apartment?
Yes, except because
The night before Miss Celis was poisoned, were there any other persons staying with you in the apartment? So during that time, all drink and food inside the apartment were prepared either by you or Miss Celis. Are you aware of finding of doctor who attended by Miss Celis that she was poisoned around 6 hours earlier before she was brought on the hospital? Where were you during that time? On that day, the incident, what time did you wake up?
called 5:30 a.m.
Did you wake up earlier than Miss Celis?
Yes, Your Honor.
During that time, did you notice any grapefruit juice in the red?
Yes, we have always
Five, that you are the complainant of childhood friend. Were you not concerned during the time that you suffered from depression?
Objection, Your Honor.
Please witness, do you know the fiancé of the complainant? How did you come to know? Does he visit the apartment regularly? Do you entertain him when you visit the apartment? Do you like him?
Lying. You are lying. I'm not your lying.
Mr. Baraba, handle your client. I will not tolerate disrespect.
Did you nurture any affection toward him? Are you not jealous of your best friend? Did you not develop any ill feeling toward your best friend? Did you learn that she that is getting married? Further question, Your Honor.
Redirect.
Go, Your Honor.
Miss Witness, you may step down from the witness stand. Foreman, offer of evidence of defense.
Your Honor, we're now resting the case to the defense.
Proceed.
We can now formally offer our evidence, Your Honor. Civic 1 is the summary charge for to prove the complainant's admission for treatment of illegal Dr. Manila. Civic 2 is the psychiatric assessment issued by Dr. Aguado to prove mental and emotional condition of the complainant. The client feels she was admitted for psychiatric treatment. Civic 2A to the signature of Dr. Aguado is a part of her testimony attesting to the fact that he was a psychiatrist complainant of medical Dr. Manila. Exhibit 3 consists of printed copies of the electronic mails sent by the complainant, which is to prove the mental and emotional instability of the complainant and her suicidal tendencies. Exhibit 3A is the printed copy of the electronic signature of the complainant to prove the authorship of the mail sent by her.
Any comment from the prosecution?
Yes, Your Honor. as to Exhibit A and 1A, we can admit its existence and authenticity, Your Honor. As to Exhibit 2 and 2A, we can only admit the existence but not the authenticity and truthfulness, Your Honor. That's all.
Acting on the formal offer of exhibit of the defense counsel, the comment thereon by the public prosecutor, the court resolves to admit all the exhibit offered by the defense counsel specified in the offer. In the rebuttal evidence.
No rebuttal evidence, Your Honor.
Considering that the public prosecutor will not present rebuttal evidence, the court gives the parties 30 days from the date which to file their representative memoranda. The case will then submitted for the decision after the lapse of the said period, even without the said memorandum. Any closure statement?
Your Honor, we have a burden of proof as the evidence have shown that with medical legal findings and a testimony of our witness ensure that Miss Kulungan intentionally poisoned Miss Dennis because of intense feelings of Miss Alden, which made me the jealous but the asset very guilty of
Your Honor, today the prosecution has the burden of proof and they have failed to prove. Your Honor, they have not shown beyond reasonable doubt that the accused is guilty. The evidence does not show that Miss Kulungan poisoned and frustratingly murdered Miss Silis. It was clearly stated that Miss Silis intentionally committed suicide due to depression. By that, we ask the verdict of not guilty.
We have now heard the arguments from both sides in the case People of the Philippines versus Ivoros Colombian. I must now decide the state has proven beyond reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty of presented murder. I've been given material that will help understand the law regarding the presumption and sense of reasonable doubt, as well as the requirement for verdict and the facts that the state must prove in order to file the order.
Criminal case number 1.